All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if it has BSS for its local search and for its city search. So we're here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture, and more about that. Pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. Those that are rising are doing a good job bringing in people from the entire intent ladder here, from the left high intent all the way to the right, the lowest intent peeps, or at least generating awareness. And the ones that are following are, you know, missing some chunks of intent, some intent chunk somewhere, causing them to fall. So here we're focusing on BSS. We're way over on the left, the basically the intent ladder. The highest intent people list people searching social search on all the social networks or on Google for, boudoir photo shoot in their city. As we focus on here. Then way at the end, focus on BLCS, Boudoir Low Click Syndrome. That's the other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, on our other profiles, where right now we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. But those are the lowest intent people, but that's the largest group in every city, the people that are not searching for boudoir photo shoot right now. So we're only talking about the two kind of extremes at the moment. All right, so BSS, Boudoir Search Sameness. As when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google. If we got 0 slots, we're dead. That's because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. They're page 1 only searches, which means this is who we care about. This is the bulk of the market, approximately 80% of the market. And we're invisible to them if we're not on page 1. So 0 slots, we're dead. 1 slot, we're also basically dead, because we're looking the same as every other boudoir photographer who also has 1 slot. And then, there's 10 slots Google page 1 organic. So, if everyone's a boudoir photographer, they all got 1 slot, then basically the buyer's just going to click down through, open everyone's link, everyone's website on page 1, because we assume they won't go to page 2. And, contact everyone, price quote everyone, price shop everyone, whatever. And so 1 slot's not good either. We want to actually, our goal is to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10, because we'll actually be kicking off our competitors off page 1 a large amount, and we'll actually be standing out, most likely being the only one with 3 out of 10 links there. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. Extremely common, but not normal, is actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are, 1, basically everyone knows about, market saturation, and 1, basically nobody knows about, the false belief of page 1 equality. So first we'll hit market saturation. It seems to happen kind of every week. Someone gets a new iPhone, start up their Google My Business profile, throw up their website saying they now offer boudoir photo shoots, saturating the market, more sellers for the same number of buyers. Or someone gets a new camera, then they start posting them on Facebook groups saying that they offer boudoir photo shoots now. So market saturation means more sellers to the same number of buyers, making it harder for every current boudoir photographer that is a seller. Now, this next one is massive, the false belief of page 1 equality. So this is, from what I've seen, the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses, because this is assuming, so the belief of page 1 equality is, which I'll show as a false belief, is we're falsely believing that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google search. And so, if you got 1 slot on page 1, cool. If the market gets saturated, you get pushed down. Now you're on page 2. Oh, that's fine. Everyone gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. That's simply how it is. This is a false belief. It's false because Google will actually give as many page 1 links as to the person who puts in the effort to acquire them. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 page 1 links to 9 out of 10 page 1 links. Literally, I own 90% of the organic search surface in 10 days. Why? Because I wanted those slots and I went and took them. I put in the effort to take them. Google gives the slots to those who puts in the effort to take them. We'll see that in like 3 or 4 pictures from now, or maybe, somewhere around that number. So it's a false belief, which makes people do nothing. If they believe this, that everyone's entitled to 0, 1 slot, every boudoir photographer is entitled to 0, 1 page slots, page 1 slots on Google, they'll do nothing. They'll be like, oh, this is reality operating normally. Yeah, I was there, I got kicked off. Hopefully someone shuts down their website, so maybe Google will bring me back on. No, incorrect. Google wants to give these slots to those who want to put in the effort to take them. And because people go on page 2, they disappear, and eventually their business disappears too. Because again, if you're on page 2 or later, you're invisible to approximately 80% of the Google searchers. So the bulk of the market. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we got our building up our universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So, and disappearing boudoir photographer, this is the canary in the coal mine for eventually a disappearing boudoir photography business, is if we got 0, 1 slots on page 1, eventually we'll be kicked off to page 2, and then it's all downhill from there. So it's a solution. We got the solution here. BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka our S-cubed methodology. And we know this because we invented it. That's what we've been using. So this is exactly what I used to go from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in 10 days. And it works with saturating social search, the high intent keywords, saturating those. So people search on social, they find us, the bulk, hopefully all, we're like the only ones showing up. And as a result, that flows through to Google page 1 search. Dominating Google page 1 search is the outcome, the outflow of dominating or saturating social search. So it all flows, saturating social search is like the river at the top of the mountain, the glacier at the top of the mountain that's melting, and the river at the bottom, the Amazon River, is all that work saturating page 1 on Google. And I know this because I've done it. Now, once true with the S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Nice. We're no longer at 0, 1 slots on page 1. We do want to hit the GBC minimum, though, with 3 out of 10 slots on page 1. And that's because if we got 3 out of 10 slots on page 1, we're definitely crushing the people that got 0 slots. We're definitely crushing the people that only got 1 slot, because they look like nothing compared to us. And it's very rare someone actually has 2 slots. But even in that case, we are looking greater than them because they only got 2 slots, we got 3. People subconsciously wonder, why is this photographer why does Google keep pushing them? They must be good and give them so many slots on page 1. The extra bonus of using the S-cubed methodology is it kicks competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Is the same for social search, but kind of what we're talking about on Google. There's only 10 organic slots page 1. Kicks them off, and as a result, we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. They're page 1 only searches. So approximately 80%, the bulk of the market's never going to see those competitors if they go to page 2, which means we're not being price shopped against them. We're not being, price shop, price compared, getting quotes from everyone. I mean, if we can get 5 links or getting page 1 on Google, that means only 5 links left for other competitors, and we've kicked off 4 other competitors back onto page 2. Instead of 9 competitors, we're competing against only 5 other peeps. Get smaller the more we dominate page 1. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. Okay, people can actually see us, because hopefully we've hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is the goal, it's kind of the minimum, hitting 3 out of 10 links on page 1 to become visible, or confidently visible. And we care about the 3 out of 10 number because if we hit 3 out of 10, we're probably, treading water. Probably not disappearing. We're at minimum treading water, and also could possibly be most likely growing. Because remember, this is the result, the outflow of dominating social search. So anytime if we're, multiple slots page 1 on Google, we already got way more than that. Multiple slots page 1, many more on these social networks. People search these highest intent keywords. So Google is kind of kind of a less than filter. Um, so this is our universe here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. It's fine, we got the solution now. Utilize S-cube methodology. Achieve page one visibility. Become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So now my own results using this. You can see I wanted to rank for this term BLCS boudoir. So we'll go down to the organic slots. So organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Organic slot 2, me. Organic slot 3, me. Organic slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. Dude, I did this in 10 days. Got 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. So I know for a fact S-cubed methodology got results for me. And I achieved this by social search saturation, S-cubed methodology. So now to the main event here. Let's see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for its local search and its city search. So Middletown, Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware. Okay. So here we go, Middletown, Delaware. So here we go, we got slot 1. Sponsor doesn't count. All right, we got slot 2. All right, we got slot 3. We got slot 4. Hey, we got slot 5. And we got slot 6. Slot 7. Slot 8. Amazing. All right, this is what we want. This is page 1 domination. When we got 8 out of 10 or more slots on page 1. Google search for our highest intent keyword. Perfect. Exactly what we want. Obviously, we want as many as we can get, 9 or 10 as well, but hey man, 8's great. So we do not have BSS for local search, and we have achieved the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 for local search. Perfect. And that search, the largest city close by, which is Wilmington, the same thing. All right, so here we go. We got slot 1. Boom, slot 2. All right. So we got slot 2 here. So we do not have BSS for city search either. So we got 2 out of 10 slots. Nice. And a benefit. So we do not have BSS for local search, and we hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 for local search. We also do not have BSS for city search, but we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 for city search. So all in all, pretty good. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer and you actually want to, so you did local search for yourself, highest intent buyer keywords for boudoir photo shoot in your city, and you saw it, and you did a local search and city search, and either you had BSS boudoir search sameness, or you simply did not reach the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1 in Google for either one or both of those searches. And you finally see that S-cubed methodology is your one path, your one solution forward out of everything. And you came to that conclusion because you realized, the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that. It's false. So you broke through. Now you're like, okay, what are the ways I can take as many slots on page 1 on Google as possible? And you realize Google PPC ads ain't going to cut it because they only give you 1 extra slot, PPC at the top, even if there's 2 slots available. And the momentum dies once you stop paying. With S-cube saturation, there is still momentum. Not infinite momentum, but there's still momentum with the strategy that will, keep the positions for a time. And so you like that. You like that you can get way more slots on page 1 than having, doing Google PPC. And you also understand the market saturation. Yeah, the 2 prongs, someone gets a new phone, iPhone, someone gets a new camera. Yeah. But they see this 3rd prong coming. And the 3rd prong you actually care about is, the 3rd prong you actually care about is the AI taking people's jobs as people still got to earn money, and everyone's got a a smartphone with a great camera on it, it's going to be forcing way more boudoir photographers into the market, or at least way more people into the market to offer boudoir photography. Maybe they're new boudoir photographers. And so you like the initial benefits, getting more slots on Google. You like the initial extra benefit of kicking competitors off page 1 of Google so that they're relegated to page 2, effectively invisible to approximately 80% of Google searches. It makes them disappear. They become a disappearing boudoir photographer, which means in short order their business will be disappearing as well. And you actually want the fortification benefits to prepare for AI bringing more and more boudoir photographers into the marketplace. And when you do that, again, SQ methodology is the only solution that allows boudoir photographers to do that. It's kind of like building a levee like New Orleans has, because it's below sea level, so they build a sandbag levee, keep the ocean out. And so you decide you're going to do this for your boudoir photography business. Keep the ocean of supply of boudoir photographers out of your turf, page 1 of Google. So you see, SQ methodology is literally the only solution for you. Decide this is what you want to do to move forward with your business, to achieve page 1 visibility, to become a visible boudoir photographer, to have boudoir search visibility, because you know you need these things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the secret back-end benefits of the SQ methodology as well that we have not talked about yet. But the first one's being every single day we successfully execute SQ methodology, what's actually happening is we're building these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, attached to our brand, attached to our website name, kind of our full name, our business name. And these only live in the AI mindshare, kind of the AI brain. And every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, we're actually increasing the probability that we show up as the premium slot, the one boudoir photographer recommended in the AI overview here at the top of Google search. So that's one extended benefit, or further away benefit. The second further away benefit is, again, where every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, we're increasing the probability all these different AI search options recommend us in their, in AI search. When someone's AI searching for a boudoir photographer in their city, this is ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, and Microsoft Copilot, and Google Gemini. We're increasing the probability we get recommended to these every day we do SQ methodology because we're building the invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, columns of the Parthenon, building Athens, Greece, or think of it, hub and spoke, building these spokes off our business. And this is like invisible mindshare for AI. And you're also seeing, you decide you're going to be the early adopter, first adopter in your city because A, my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, so you can close out all your competitors from using me by you hopping in with me. And B, that the more you execute daily, we execute daily on SQ methodology, that the bigger initial benefits we get instantly, and also the bigger back-end momentum AI mindshare benefits we get over time, creating a massive gap between you and all your competitors that they're basically never going to be able to catch up on. And so you decide to be a first mover in your city on that, because the converse is if a competitor works with me first, then they're going to be getting all those benefits, initial benefits, kicking you off page 1, making you disappear, building up the AI mindshare in the back end. And for you to compete, you would have to rederive SQ methodology, which you'll never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly, to use correctly. You will have to then go execute SQ methodology equal to us executing every day with your competitor. And again, you'll never be 100% confident. So you probably most likely won't put in the effort to equal us. But even if you do, you equal our effort, okay, you're maintaining the gap that we've already built. So the gap being the same distance. So you'd have to double or triple our effort, our execution, utilizing SQ methodology, which I invented, to close the gap on us. Who's got that time? Who's got 80 hours in a day to do all that? So you decide, screw all that. It's better to simply be the first mover in my city, and let's actually lock this in and start getting these initial benefits and the delayed benefits, the invisible mindshare AI and the AI brain benefits. So that's you. Shoot me a DM. When my DM's open, my DMs are currently not open. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. But if you, when I do open the DMs, when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM, and we will see if you qualify for using SQ methodology.